Again, Big U, his son, Baby Huey, or Big Huey, right? He was assassinated last night on Halloween out there in LA.
The streets of LA erupted after Big U's son, Jabari Henley, was brutally killed on Halloween night. What followed pushed the city into chaos. NSBE affiliates wasted no time mocking Big U's loss, turning grief into fuel for one of the coldest feuds the city has ever seen. That Halloween turned into a nightmare in the trenches. While kids trick-or-treated and block parties wound down, South Central got hit with breaking news that froze the city, from Crenshaw to Compton and beyond. Shockwaves rippled across the hip-hop world. This wasn't random. Jabari Baby Wee Henley's death reignited old beefs, exposed secrets, and turned social media into a battlefield with zero mercy. Around 11:11 p.m., October 31st, 2025, LAPD's 77th Street Division got the call. Shots fired at South Figueroa and West 69th. That scene instantly became one of the wildest shootings of the year. If you know South LA, you know the Vermont Slauson area stays hot. The block is steeped in tension, history, and pain. The scene unfolded outside Fig and 69 Smoke Spot, surrounded by liquor stores, car shops, and empty lots, deep in Rollin 60 Crips territory. The smoke shop wasn't gang affiliated, just caught in the wrong zone at the wrong time. Witnesses said a dark sedan, maybe a Camry or Accord, rolled up slow to the curb. Jabari, 6 feet 1 inch and 210 pounds, stepped up from the sidewalk to talk through the passenger window, and in seconds, everything exploded. Gunfire erupted with no warning, sharp pops echoing through the night. People dropped to the ground in terror as chaos tore through the block. This was no random robbery. It was a precise, deadly hit.
And I want to talk about, Big U. His son was assassinated last night out there in LA. Absolutely nasty work, man. Again, Big U, his son, Baby Huey, or Big Huey, right? He was assassinated last night on Halloween out there in LA.
Now, the details of the incident are pretty scary.
The details are chilling. Investigators say the shooters fired at least 7 rounds from a semi-automatic. Shell casings pointed to a 9mm or .40 caliber weapon. Jabari caught 4 bullets in his torso and chest, plus 1 in his left arm and another in his thigh. He collapsed outside the smoke shop as the dark sedan sped off, disappearing into the LA night. Paramedics arrived quickly, but by 11:28 p.m., just 14 minutes after the call, Jabari Baby Wee Henley was dead. The coroner's autopsy, case 2025-004512, ruled homicide, multiple gunshot wounds with massive blood loss from a torn left pulmonary artery. Toxicology was clean, no alcohol or drugs. So who was Jabari? Born March 15, 1991 in Inglewood, LA, he wasn't chasing fame like his father, Eugene Big U Henley. He stayed out of the spotlight but loved the culture, dropping tracks under Baby Wee, including 2019's Hood with Hoodrich Pablo Juan, which earned about 150,000 Spotify streams. His lyrics reflected surviving the grind, loyalty, and protecting his people. Rap wasn't his main hustle. Close friends say he worked as a warehouse supervisor in Compton, providing for his 10-year-old daughter and consciously avoiding the street politics tied to his family name. Jabari embodied a new South LA story, someone staying true to his roots, building a life outside the beef, carrying himself with pride, respect, and quiet strength.
I mean, it is what it is as far as this is how the streets go, but Baby Huey, I ain't gonna hold you. Solid dude. Like, as young as he was, if you actually met him, he actually seemed way older. Kid was solid, like straight, solid dude. Now some of y'all be, well, he was in the street. He didn't operate like that. He wasn't operating out here like no goofy. Let me just flat out put that out there.
Jabari left behind 3 siblings.
Jabari left behind 3 siblings chasing their own dreams. Younger brother Diane Henley, 28, a starting LA Chargers linebacker, posted, "My heart is shattered. Rest easy, bro." We got the fam, older brother Michael, 32, cuts hair in Hawthorne, and sister Shay, 30, works as a nurse in Long Beach. The Henleys proving they're more than just a name. Tragedy hit hardest for Eugene Big U Henley, 58, who learned of his son's murder while locked up at the Metropolitan Detention Center, facing 43 RICO counts for allegedly running a mafia-style network tied to the Rollin 60 Crips. Around 1:30 a.m., co-defendant Loose Cannon whispered the news via contraband phone, "They got your boy." Big U froze, fists clenched, tears streaming, whispering, "Not my boy, not like this." As of November 2nd, 2025, LAPD's South Bureau Homicide Division had no arrests. They're reviewing over a dozen surveillance videos and offering a $50,000 reward, hoping someone comes forward. Social media chaos exploded immediately. Within 2 hours of police scanner alerts at 11:45 p.m., Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok flooded with posts, theories, and wild claims. The tragedy quickly became a nationwide digital storm. Instead of sympathy, people speculated, celebrated, and tied the shooting to old conspiracies about Big U and Nipsey Hussle. Mentions on X jumped from 2,500 posts at midnight to over 80,000 by 6 a.m., with hashtags like #Kansa, #BigHenley, and #BabyWe trending across LA and beyond. TikTok clips showing paramedics on Jabari drew 3.2 million views by noon, while Instagram fan pages mashed up Nipsey's morning with accusations aimed at Big U. By midday, the story had 25 million impressions worldwide. Old conspiracies resurfaced. Claims linking Big U to Eric Holder Jr., convicted in Nipsey's 2022 murder, despite being debunked in court. Then, a 2021 Charleston White interview reposted on November 1st went viral, racking up over 11,000 likes and nearly 500 reposts, reigniting online outrage and speculation, just as the city was reeling from Jabari's death.
Homie, they killed Nip too. Let's not forget, homie, they killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the details, Nip and Big U got into it. Big U hit Nip daddy across the head with a bat. His brother had to come out and shoot the gun. "Hey, y'all get off." Say, "Nip, come on, we finna come beat you. Because I don't want to pay that $20,000.
An old Loose Cannon podcast rant from early 2025, recorded before he caught his own case, got reposted and blew up again, snagging over 6,000 likes. In it, Cannon claimed Big U had signed Nipsey Hussle to some shady deal, then let the snake circle, hinting at betrayal. The irony wasn't lost on anybody. The same guy who once spread that messy story was the one who had to break the news to Big U that his son had been murdered. That twist hit hard. Later, Brick Baby stepped in and called out how wild Cannon's whole narrative really was during an interview, shutting down the rumors with straight facts.
All this is nonsense. Me and Big U even had a conversation about it. And I said, man, I'm sorry you're getting dragged into this fake storyline. Not that I have anything to do with it, because I've never interviewed Loose Cannon or anything else like that. But I just as someone I'm cool with, I said, I'm sorry that this is the story that's going out and people are running with it, because I remember every conversation I've ever had with Big U, he's always spoken positively about Nipsey. Every time. Our interview, nothing negative about Nipsey. Personal conversations, nothing negative about Nipsey, ever.
An Instagram live from WAC 100 in March 2025 resurfaced and went viral, alleging a 2017 altercation between Big U and Nipsey Hussle that supposedly led to Black Sam's arrest. That clip alone sparked 50,000 engagements. These weren't new stories, just old dirt amplified by an algorithm hungry for conflict. Jabari's death showed how fast grief turns toxic online. At 12:07 a.m. on November 1st, someone posted a crime scene video with the caption, "Retaliation for Big U's alleged Nipsey setup. Street war never ends." That post got 19 likes and 5 reposts by 1:46 a.m. Another user reflected on the CPR footage, comments full of Nipsey's spirit and sins of the father. "We've lost compassion. Death is entertainment," earning 95 likes. By 6:47 a.m., posts turned harsher. One read, "LA let Big U walk after killing your legend, Nipsey Trash City," and got 2,400 likes. Later, a YouTube video titled "Proof Big U Killed Nipsey and Son's Best Friend" blew up with over 417,000 views in hours. Analyzing 8,000 posts from November 1st, 62% invoked Nipsey with hashtags like #DoesNipseyKarma, 4,000 uses, 28% offered neutral condolences, and only 10% condemned the mockery. Platforms had to step in. X suspended 15 accounts for doxing. TikTok demonetized 200 videos for graphic content, and Instagram flagged 50 reels under hate speech rules. The narrative linking Jabari's death to Nipsey was purely emotional, fueled by grief. Some saw Big U as a villain and twisted Jabari's murder into cosmic payback. Others resisted the hysteria. Nipsey's estate, including Black Sam, urged peace. Pain multiplies pain. Honor Nipsey with peace, not this. Friends of Big U defended him, condemning baseless attacks on a father already grieving behind bars. The episode was a stark reminder of how tragedy can be distorted online.
I feel like they had whatever differences they had when Nip was alive and they got over that shit. I've been around for a minute, so I don't feel like that even carried on to, you know what I mean? Like, that's a crazy, just imagine you raising this young dude, y'all fall out about some business stuff.
The hard truth that keeps getting ignored, Eric Holder Jr., the man who was actually convicted of Nipsey Hussle's murder, was sentenced to 60 years to life in 2022, and Big U's name never came up anywhere in the trial. Not in call logs, not in witness testimony, nowhere in the official court transcripts.
As one commentator pointed out while dissecting these conspiracy theories, if there had been any real evidence that Big U was involved in a murder-for-hire plot, you better believe the prosecutors would have put it on the record during Holder's trial. Everything else, just smoke and rumors.
And the person who killed Nipsey Hussle has been convicted of the murder. Big U's name never came up in the trial.
Not a call log, not a
nothing. Not a nothing. You would think that in a case this serious where you're facing life in prison, if it really was a murder for hire, like people are trying to say it is, which is nonsense, that person would probably come forward to try to get their time reduced.
The digital storm after Jabari Henley's death didn't stay online. It had real-world effects. LAPD reported a 22% spike in Crime Stoppers tips, with 150 calls between November 1st and 2nd referencing old beefs. Grief over Nipsey Hussle was twisted and weaponized, deepening division in a community still trying to heal. Since 2019, as Jabari's murder investigation progressed, this online chaos threatened to overshadow the mission of getting justice for a young father whose life was cut tragically short. To understand it, you have to rewind. The history between Nipsey Hussle and Big U is far more complex than social media narratives. Rumors simplified their story, but the truth was layered. Big U, out on parole in 2004, started organizing peace talks between Crips and Bloods through the Community Intervention Alliance, CIA, to calm neighborhood violence. Nipsey, a 20-year-old Rollins 60s affiliate, attended, and Big U saw him as a next-generation leader. By 2009, Nipsey signed a 10-year management deal with Big U's Monique music label. They collaborated on community events like Unity in the Community, 2010, and youth programs, co-hosted Block by Block panels, 2016 to 2018. And Big U advised on Nipsey's Grammy-nominated album Victory Lap. Nipsey even donated $100,000 to the CIA in 2018, showing their bond went beyond music. It was about uplifting the community. Tension arose in late 2018 when Nipsey launched Marathon Clothing and wanted out of his unique deal. Big U still attended the store opening but posted cryptic messages about loyalty tests. Later, Eric Holder's presence at the event with Big U was misinterpreted after Nipsey's murder on March 31st, 2019. Big U responded immediately, organizing a unity march on April 2nd with 5,000 attendees and gang truces, handling logistics, eulogizing Nipsey as my son in spirit, and raising $200,000 for community programs. Despite these efforts, rumors spread. In July 2020, a viral X thread accused Big U of vouching for Holder, drawing 50,000 engagements. He went on Vlad TV to set the record straight. Clearly, I built peace with Nip, I didn't break it. But in social media's age, accusations outpaced denials. Big U's openness about the personal toll of these false claims revealed how devastating and far-reaching online rumors can be.
When Nipsey died, right? When Nipsey got killed, we probably had about 300, 375, 400 kids that was in our program. And I had the travel basketball team. We had a contract with Adidas that was worth about $3 million that Kanye West gave us.
Wow.
And then I had like a bunch of other different contracts. And for a nonprofit, we were really thriving. Then Nipsey gets killed. Well, after Nipsey get killed, then the rumor goes out, Big U had something to do. Woo. We lost everything.
You lost all those?
When I tell you everything.
Wow.
Kanye stopped answering the phone. Adidas stopped answering
What?
the phone. And I ended up almost going dead broke because we already committed.
The impact wasn't just about money or influence being cut off. It was about years of peace building, community programs, and everything Big U had worked to build since getting out of prison being completely delegitimized and attacked. By 2023, X-Sentiment analysis showed that positive mentions linking Nipsey and Big U had dropped from 80% in 2018 to just 35% in 2023, driven by over 5,000 posts spreading rumors. Big U's reputation was already shattered, even though there was zero evidence supporting any of the accusations. Then March 2025 hit, and his troubles skyrocketed. He was arrested and hit with 43 federal counts under RICO, accused of running a mafia-style operation tied to the Rollins 60 Crips, involving business extortion, human trafficking through his label Unique Music, $1.2 million in COVID-19 relief loan fraud, and allegedly orchestrating a 2021 Vegas murder over a diss track. Big U pleaded not guilty and is representing himself after his attorney withdrew in September 2025, with trial scheduled for May 2026. Against this backdrop, a father locked down in federal custody, facing the possibility of life behind bars, his reputation shredded for a murder he had nothing to do with, Jabari Henley was killed. The timing couldn't have been crueler. A man already stripped of freedom and dignity now had to grieve his son from behind bars, while the internet celebrated what they saw as karma coming full circle. The investigation into Jabari Henley's murder is still ongoing as of November 2025. LAPD has reviewed 12 surveillance videos and is waiting on full ballistics and toxicology results expected November 5th. Two persons of interest from Inglewood, who had no direct ties to the Rollins 60s, were picked up on November 1st but released after their alibis checked out. Forensic DNA found on the sedan's door handle shows a partial match to a Hoover affiliate, suggesting what LAPD internal memos are calling spillover retaliation, but not the kind of retaliation people were speculating about on social media. This tragedy highlights just how much the internet has changed our relationship with grief, justice, and truth in the culture. The Henley family, already dealing with Big U's incarceration and the RICO fallout, including having their Hyde Park assets frozen, is handling funeral arrangements privately, with a memorial tentatively scheduled for November 8th. The weight of this loss is immense, and it underscores how personal tragedy can get lost in a digital storm, while families try to navigate grief in real life.